Grab a cup of inspiration this morning on Soulful Sunrise with Karen Taylor Bass on WURD Progressive Black Talk Media.
Welcome back, Soulful Sunrisers. It is Thursday, December 11th, 2025. It is Transformational Thursday, Thankful Thursday, day 11 of Draw the Circle, our book by Mark Batterson, and our guest, Fitman times Fade Man, my favorite. What's going on, brother?
Good morning, Karen. How is everything going today?
Oh, purposeful, my brother. Purposeful, my brother.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad to be back.
I'm glad to have you back. You know, we just had Paris Fit on talking about her upcoming event on Saturday, and she has a whole lot of collaboration of people and swag bags and, you know, encouraging people to come out this holiday season because we know a lot of folks are isolated. They don't want to move their bodies. So we are preparing for December, and every day I feel like it's December. The challenge isn't the gain, Fitman. It's that we take time off, and it's the consistency and the mindfulness. So today you're going to help us go deeper into this. You are someone who motivates others. You have a training philosophy. You have a gym. You have a barbershop. Fitman times Fade Man. And so my question for you this morning to start is, December is the month when, as I ask her, when we begin to spiral for so many reasons, but sometimes food, parties, and travel. How can you help us this December? Just stay consistent and stay on track.
Well, we have to look at a few things here. The first, Karen, is just human nature. Sometimes when we get to the end of something, we tend to take our foot off the gas.
Ooh.
And we're at the end.
Coming up with these nuggets so quickly. Let me brace myself. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Go ahead. We take our foot off the gas. Yes.
So we are at the end of the year, and at the end of the year, it's also the holidays. So for a lot of people, it's, well, you know, there's only 5 or 6 weeks left, and the foot comes off the gas. And the key to staying in shape over the holidays is to stay consistent with what you've been doing. We touched on this last month when we talked about motivation versus discipline. This is when the motivation for a lot of people runs out, and this is when the discipline has to kick in order to mitigate some of those losses during the holidays.
So you yourself have to want this. You got to be accountable, but also accountability is so important. And you talk about that all the time, accountability strategies that we can use and implement. What is the top 2 accountability strategies we can implement like this very day?
So accountability for today.
Yes.
The first one is that you have to set some non-negotiables. Okay. So, for example, myself, I train at least 4 times each week, no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's cold. It doesn't matter if it's the holiday. It doesn't matter if the Eagles are playing. It doesn't matter. Okay. That's what it comes down to for me. So what I would tell the average person is that maybe you've been training 3 or 4 days a week, and maybe the holidays are starting to overwhelm you. Set a non-negotiable of training at least twice a week. If you train on Monday and Thursday, I need you at that gym on Monday and on Thursday. And the second part of the accountability is that you have to continue to track what you're doing. Track your numbers in the gym. Track the food that you're eating. You have to keep things as normal as possible, even during this holiday period.
You know, it's so true. Yesterday I had a full work day, and I had on my schedule, I was going to go to the gym at 7. I had a 7 o'clock class and then see my trainer. And I wanted to get out of it with every possible excuse. I'm not even going to lie to you, Fitman, every possible excuse. But then I walked by the mirror and then I said, why not? I changed, got my stuff, I left it at the door, picked up, and I made my 7:15 class, and then I went with my trainer because I know next week my schedule is crazy and I won't be able to do 3 days. So let me get 2 days in as a bonus day. And I literally had to talk myself off the ledge. I don't like working out. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I do like results. No, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to sweat. I don't want to take 3 showers, but I do it, or I am doing it. And I think it's just not me. A lot of us get into that. And when we see results, my question to you is, once we start seeing results and we start to feel better and the clothes feel better, that should encourage us. But why do we find, especially during the winter months, excuses to put it off another day, and then another day become 2 days? Why is that?
This comes back to
I know.
This comes back to the central topic of the motivation. Yeah. Listen, Karen, look, we're in Philadelphia. We're in Montgomery County, Bucks County. It's cold up here. So that plays an impact. The sun is not out as much. Okay. There's holiday parties. There's get-togethers. There's every single hurdle in most people's way that pulls them away from the gym. But let's go back to what you just said. You said you walked past the mirror and then you had to keep going. That was your discipline kicking in. Understanding that next week was not going to be the ideal week for you in terms of training. So you have to front load it and get more in so that you don't get behind. This is where the discipline has to take over for people in this holiday time.
So I was disciplined. Look at me. Didn't even realize that I had some discipline in here.
Absolutely.
And then you talk about food, because we have a holiday. I hope you're coming to a holiday game night. Well, we'll talk about that after.
Okay.
But, anyway. But we have food, we have this, we have that. How do we also condition our brain that it's okay to just have one of something and push back? Go ahead.
So one thing I tell people during the holidays is that I think it's important that people enjoy themselves during the holiday. I don't think that you need to go to your mother's home or your sister's home and eat broccoli, right? And eat chicken breast. I don't think that you have to do that. But what I do think is that you have to be reasonable in what you are eating. You don't have to have 3 and 4 plates of food and set yourself back many weeks just to enjoy yourself. Have a treat, but a reasonable amount.
I guess that's everything, right? Everything is in moderation. Everything is that. And yesterday we had LaTanya McCurry on, and she's a psychotherapist. And she talked about one of the things we can do is just go outside in the mornings just to get that first, the sun, the vitamin D. Even if it's not there, we know that there's still vitamin D, but just to take your mind off of everything. And I literally, before I went to work yesterday, I went outside and I did a quick 15-minute fast-paced brisk walk, and it literally transformed everything, my outlook for the day. So how can we do that with food? Would you suggest pre-prepping? If we know we're going to go to a holiday party, should we pre-prep to eat first something small so that when we walk in the space, we're just not going to eat everything that we see or consume every drink? Oh my God, they have this. How can we regulate the brain to understand, like you're teaching us about the body, that pre-prep is your love language?
Well, there's 2 ways that can go. So the pre-prep can work, but here's where the pre-prep can run into issues.
Okay.
Sometimes people pre-prep and then they lose it anyway. So it kind of
know me well.
so it kind of defeats the purpose. What I actually like to do is have less going into the holiday, just in case I decide to have something extra. Because again, Karen, we've talked about this for months. It all comes down to numbers.
Right.
Okay. And if you eat too many calories on the holiday, you're going to gain weight. But if you stay under your calorie number and your energy balance stays in a deficit, then guess what? You won't gain the weight that you thought you would have. So I would actually kind of push people towards eating less. Eating less at other parts during the day.
Ooh, what are your thoughts about apple cider vinegar? Does that really curb your appetite? Does that do anything for the belly fat? I asked because being at the gym, I heard someone say apple cider vinegar in the mornings, but that has a lot of other properties, but just for the belly fat. Do you believe apple cider vinegar and tequila help with belly fat?
Okay, that was a curveball. Okay, so let's talk about this and let's just get to the truth of the belly fat.
Yeah.
The only way to lose belly fat, the only way to lose any body fat, is that you have to burn more calories than you consume. It's the only way. Okay.
So no tequila and no.
Listen. It sounds like it could work, but again, you just can't beat biology and how the human body works. You can't beat it.
Okay. So, all right, darn it. But you also you said there are some essential workouts, Fitman, that you can help us if we're traveling to incorporate during this month of December in our routine. What are some of the essential workouts that we can do? And do you want to break it down to age groups, or is this something that's general for everyone? So
the only thing that would vary by age group and by the level of how advanced or if someone is intermediate or a beginner, it's just the intensity and the weights of the exercises being used. But the exercises themselves, they don't need to change. The squat pattern should be in there, the lunge pattern, a pressing pattern, a pulling pattern, some core work, some conditioning. The actual basics of what builds the body doesn't need to change at all. The only thing that has to stay is that you have to still consistently do these things during this time frame from Thanksgiving to New Year's Day. And this goes back to what I said earlier. If you're tracking this stuff over that time frame, if I did a squat with 135 on Thanksgiving and now it's New Year's Day, I still cannot be using 135. I got to see some progress.
Progress. You know, when you talk about being fit and what we need to use, it's always very simple. It's always very basic. You don't make it confusing or chaotic. How long, what is the duration, would you say, of a good workout? I did a workout the other day for 45 minutes. And first of all, a 45, I'm sorry, but and I don't want you to think I'm lazy, because I'm really not.
No.
But a 45-minute yoga class is different than a 45-minute Pilates class. Then a 45-minute group exercise class that I do is completely different from that 45 one-on-one group training that I did with the trainer. That 45 minutes felt like 3 darn hours, because this sucker had me doing things that I had not done, and I was lifting weights, and I was like, are you sure I can do this? He was like, absolutely. But you know what it did for me? There is something, and I was telling my friend in the gym, lifting weights is like such a euphoria, because you think you can't do it, but then you're doing it, like the squat, the bench press, and you realize how strong you are. And I was like, I would never have put that on my bingo card, that I would be able to have these muscles. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. And that's cardio is good. So can you break down cardio, what it does for our body? And then weights, how weights will transform our body, especially at this mid-age, mid-level age, or mid-section and mid-age, everything. Break it down, strength training versus cardio, or put them together for us.
So I'm glad that you brought up this point. There have been a lot of misconceptions over time about strength training, about pumping iron. When you strength train, you build muscle, you build strength. You build tendon strength, ligament strength, joint strength. Your entire body gets stronger. That's how you build muscle. That's how you build the foundation of your physique. All right. So nobody should not be doing some type of strength training to strengthen their body, to build muscle. And think about this, Karen. It's not just the physical muscle that you're building in terms of the arms or the legs or anything like that. Something that people don't realize, that you're also building what I call mental muscle.
Yes.
And you brought that up when you said, oh my goodness, this felt so hard, but I overcame it. When you keep overcoming these challenges a few times a week, a few times a month, a few times a year, you start to build up this mental toughness that you couldn't have built in other ways. Now, when we talk about cardio is important for us being in shape, because the worst thing that you want to be is somebody who can lift heavy weights, can pump iron, but then you can't walk up a flight of steps. I find it to be rather embarrassing. Okay.
Wait a minute. Did you get a professional microphone?
Oh, absolutely. It was time to upgrade. Oh, absolutely. Okay.
Don't be trying to come for my job, Fitman, Fade Man. I'm not having that today.
No, your job.
I said this man got a microphone. No, he don't.
Yeah. So
go ahead, cardio.
Yeah. So you don't want to be someone who is strong, but then you're out of shape. You don't have any conditioning, and that's where the balance of having proper strength training and cardio into your program is very important. If I was someone training, I would do my strength training first.
Yes.
Before my cardio, because I don't want the cardio to zap my energy by the time I get to strength training.
Yeah. Stay right where you are. We'll be right back with more Fitman, Fade Man. This is Soulful Sunrise on Thursday, December 11th, 2025, 900 AM, 96.1 FM, streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, WURD Radio app, WURDradio.com. We got Fitman with the microphone. I can't. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back, Soulful Sunrisers, 900 AM, 96.1 FM, streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, WURD Radio app. The first part of the show, we had Paris Fit talking about December 13th, her activation at Xfinity. And now we close out with Fitman times Fade Man. We're talking about what we need to do as he interviews for his radio gig on this on this December 11th. So I want to ask you, Eric, what is some of the biggest myth about holiday weight gain? If you could just talk about some of them, what would they be?
So the biggest myth I think that we need to focus on is there's this myth out there that used to say years ago that people would gain 10 pounds from Thanksgiving through New Year's Day. And when you actually look at studies, it's actually about 1 to 2 pounds. So I think that's the biggest myth. Now, where the issue with that comes in is that a lot of times those 1 to 2 pounds gained during the holiday time is not ever lost.
Oh,
so, I'm big on long term. So if we look at long vision down the road and we have a 1 to 2 pound gain over 10 holidays, now all of a sudden we're up 10 to 20 pounds. And if you're somebody who's not training, when you gain weight, you're not gaining muscle mass. You're only gaining body fat. So this is how over a 10 or 20 year period, 10, 20, 30, 40 pounds slowly adds up.
Jeez. That is a lot. I want to get in a caller to win these tickets, a pair of tickets to our holiday game night, which is Tuesday, December 16th at 6 p.m. at South Bowl, 19 Oregon Avenue, Philly, PA 19148. This is a holiday game night. It's WURD's holiday game night, hosted by Tiffany Bacon. It is spades, it is taboo, it is dancing, it is food, it is mocktails, cocktails, it is social connection. You could get your cardio on, and you could do a plank in person if you want. The line is open, 215-634-8065. 215-634-8065. I know I'm not planking today. I'm trying to get this cold out my system. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't got it in me today, so I will not be planking. I could do some chair jacks. I got to be real with the people. I cannot. Today she said, no, you won't.
Oh man, yes. So I think exactly what we just talked about in terms of just like having a long vision, not falling for the mythology of you're going to gain like 10 pounds in a month is a lot to gain, but it's just as long as we're looking down the road on that and being cognizant of that, we don't have to keep that weight on.
We don't have to. We just got to move on. Like you're saying, it's every day, right? It's consistency. I'm learning that. Even when I don't want to train or work out, we got a caller. Maybe they got a question for you. Fitman. Okay. Hello, caller. How are you? You are the winner, first of all.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. What is your first name and where you calling from?
Ivana from Nicetown.
Ivana from Nicetown. Say hello to Fitman times Fade Man.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Ivana. How you doing today?
Get my job. Don't pay me any attention. Do you have a question? I know you won the tickets, but do you have a question for Fitman?
Well, yes, I'll just say it like this. So, I just came on and heard your bit about, the holidays and you gaining weight. I am a stickler, whereas I don't like exercising, but I know I need to because I am on, blood pressure medication. And one of the things it says, if you want to try to get off, you need to exercise. And I'm like, really? Is there not something simple, but because I am over 60, and besides just having the blood pressure medication, is there something you could suggest that would slowly encourage me, keep me motivated to do exercise so that I can eventually get off these pills?
Well,
pill, not these, one pill only.
So
thank you for sharing, first of all, Ivana, and thank you for winning those tickets. And Fitman, you got 30 seconds. You're on the clock.
So, Ivana, that's a great question. I think the first thing that you've got to do to get the process started, if you're someone who doesn't like to exercise, is start simple. Don't start complicated. The most simple thing that you can begin to do is just to walk.
Okay.
That gets the ball rolling. You don't have to get into a complicated strength program out the door. Start to build the habits first before you start getting into more advanced training.
Fitman, what about with the weather being so cold? Would you still encourage her to go outside to walk? Yes?
So for me personally,
Yeah.
even if it's cold, Karen, I just bundle up.
Ooh, excuse you.
I just bundle up. I just get a good hat, a nice long coat, some gloves. I mean, I just bundle up because ultimately it's all about what your end goal is.
True.
So I don't think that the cold weather can stop me from doing what I need to do. I'm not going to be out there all day.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ivana, I hope that helped you. That means you're going to walk and get off that blood pressure med, and you are the winner. Stay on the line. Fahim is going to take all your information
Thank you.
so we can see you next Tuesday at the holiday game night. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are welcome. What a great question, though, because I'm sure a lot of us have that same question. And I'm glad you said just bundle up, because it seems simple, but it is so important that we bundle up and go out there. And you're training for your life. You really are. And if it was something else, we would do it. We would do it, Fitman. I want to give you the time to close with your sage wisdom and how people can connect with you, and let people know that you'll also be back with us next month with a different topic. So close, let us know where we can connect with you and your message for us.
So for anybody in the surrounding counties, Philadelphia, if you are ready to make that transformation, I have the program for you. If you visit my website at fitmanperformance.com/21-day-fit, I have created the ideal program to get people started. You don't come in and we start doing my Mr. Natural Philadelphia bodybuilding program or anything like that. We start exactly where you are. Everything is structured. Everything is accountable. Everything is tracked so that we can see actual objective progress over time.
Love that. Love that. Fitman times Fade Man. It is progression that we're doing. And thank you for rising this morning, and thank you for your flexibility. I know we had a couple of date change, so I appreciate you. Soulful Sunrisers, it is that time when we come to the end of the show. Tomorrow is a pre-tape. I want to be completely honest with you because your girl is hosting something in New York, so it'll be pre-taped tomorrow. But we have Shanti Mayers on from the Sable Collective, who is one of the vendors at the Empowerment Experience this Saturday, December 13th at Enon from 11 a.m. to 4 a.m. I will be hosting. Solomon Jones is doing the panel on business. You have James Peterson doing culinary, I believe. I could be wrong. Fahim is on the ones and twos. You're going to get Tiffany. We're all going to be there. We're all going to be there. We're all going to show out. So I want to see you there. But I want to leave you with this little bit of motivation. Tomorrow, still do your plank. We didn't do the plank and the pre-tape either. I just ate when I did that one, so I didn't do. I'm bad with the planks. I missed 2 days. But I'm getting to the point of my closing is simply this. I want you to remember that opportunities often require you to go solo travel. Your fitness, these are your opportunities. Sometimes you could start out in a group, but you know what your main idea is and you become laser focused. And that's what I had to learn getting a trainer. A group is great, but when I'm laser focused, I begin to really put my heart and energy into it because I don't care about who's around me. Remember that you have to be willing to walk alone. Go outside, bundle up, and walk alone. You will notice everything in your thoughts, your body, and the surrounding area. And most importantly, be purposeful, stay connected, live your best life today and not tomorrow. And as Fitman always reminds us, it's our why. What is your motivation? What is your why? Fitman, did I do okay? Did I do my job?
That was excellent. That was an excellent close.
Next up is Solomon Jones with Wake Up with Word. I will see you on Saturday, God willing, at the Empowerment Experience. Be well, everyone. Don't forget, we do have a show tomorrow, though. It is pre-taped. All right, y'all. Take us out, Fahim, to lovely day. Fitman, Fademan, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Karen.